All right, welcome to Wise Up on Air. We're going to go hands on today, talking DLC creation and management in Unreal and Unity. Got some special guests lined up. I'm Damian Kasbauer. I'm the software product manager here at Audiokinetic, working on Wise, and it's great to see you here today. Let's talk first about some of the cool stuff that has been happening at Audiokinetic. If you've been out there, Wise turns 20 this year. So 20 years of Wise empowering audio creators with interactive audio. Here's a short summary of several of the title screens when you launch Wise as it has evolved over the year. Love the way that it continues to evolve and change leading up to this year's 2026.1 launch screen. If you have jumped into the beta, you will have seen that screen as part of this 20th year of Wise, as we have carried the beta forward as part of our summer of beta. And we're here in beta 1 with you, getting ready to put the next beta in place, taking in feedback from the community. We got a bunch of cool stuff in the box, including the fully runtime and iterative workflow between content creation, the game, and a new feature called Replay, which gives you the ability to play back audio and re-simulate what has been captured as part of a connected profiling session. We've also got the expanded functionality of the segment that now works interoperably across sound and music to put audio in front of you as part of a center-focused workflow, where we've also gone and taken navigation and selection forward with what is put in front of you during that workflow. Over on the spatial audio side, our acoustics technologies have gotten an update, starting with a new diffraction model that dramatically improves the performance. Wise's fastest ever simulation of acoustics, along with some visual updates to the Game Object 3D Viewer, giving you better visibility across what can be understood about geometry and the acoustics and other aspects of audio through the Game Object 3D Viewer. So dig back into our Beta 1 live stream if you want to see more about what we put in the box, and grab the beta if you haven't already. We are listening and want your feedback to help drive towards the best full release this fall. Report bugs, jump into our community Q&A and contact support, or just drop us a line at openears@audiokinetic.com. I want to say thanks to our community who continues to show up with incredible articles about how they're using Wise. Everything from building Wise plugins, rethinking the way that audio sources inputs work, and a masterclass from the team behind Metal Eden across dialogue, weapons, voice, ambience, and reverb. A ton of great stuff from that team. So jump over to our blog and check out videos that we have put up recently. The beta 1 that I mentioned, as well as some great spotlights on community tools, a deep dive on a location-based experience, and some recordings from our Wise tour in Shanghai last year from the team behind Split Fiction. Great stuff. And Audiokinetic continues to be out there in the community. Any folks who made it to the Wise tour in Lille, France last week, it was a great success. We had 3 presentations from the Dune Awakening team, from Saros, and from Cairn. 3 great presentations that we'll be carrying to our YouTube channel later this year. But congratulations to folks who were able to arrive in person as part of Audiokinetic at Game Camp. We're doing some on-demand workshops coming up in July for Wwise profilers and managing multilingual dialogue with Wwise. And coming up in July, I'll be joining the Japan audio community at a meetup after the SEDEC conference, where Audiokinetic will be on the ground representing in a presentation and as part of a booth there. But we're here today for this conversation about DLC creation and management in Unity and Unreal, and I'd like to welcome to the live stream Victor and Hugo. Great to see you. Thanks for coming today.
Thanks for having us.
Great to be here.
Awesome. So give us just a quick background on what you do at Wwise and what you've been working on.
All right. Well, I guess I'll go first. I'm a software developer as part of the integration team. I've been working on a bunch of stuff just overall, but one of the big thing is the addressable package, which is mainly what's going to be used for the DLC. So that's what I'm going to be presenting today.
And I'm Victor. I'm also part of the integration team for about 4.5 years now. I've been doing a lot of stuff, mainly Gym, Unreal, and Unity, a bit of everything. Mainly worked on the Wwise browser as a big feature, and I'm the one who implemented the Wwise library groups, which will be the main focus for the DLC on the Unreal side.
Amazing. And it's been so cool to see the features falling in place over the last releases, really facilitating today's encapsulation of how to work across Unreal and Unity in towards this kind of management of assets for DLC or downloadable content. So thanks for arriving here today to present this overview, and if we're ready, let's jump in.
All right. Okay, so yeah, I'm going first. I'll start my demo just in the ordering, just to show what we're going to be working with. I initially made a DLC sound, but I just plugged it in with the keybind, and I realized it's not the best for a demo. It's just like, trust me, I'm pressing it. So I'm going to be using the footstep as well as Soundbank, DLC Soundbank. The reason I'm using the footstep is to showcase that it works with both Autobank, which what the player footstep is, and with the regular banks, which has a bunch of other events in them. So if we jump into the Unity editor, I've already generated the banks and everything. And what you're going to be looking at when you first generate the banks is everything's going to be in your platform folder. So all your banks and your WEMs are going to be there. And I already created a DLC assets group, which is what we're going to be using for the demo. To create a group, you simply right-click, create new group, packed asset, and you name it whatever you want. I have a few notes about the groups. There's not necessarily a naming convention, although the Wwise build script, if you follow the Wwise data Windows or Wwise data platform name convention, whenever you switch platform, is going to automatically include the proper groups into your build. The Wwise build script is just a script. You can probably get inspiration from it, or just create a new one if you want to customize ours, but ours just work with the Wwise data _ platform convention. And if you just don't want to follow the convention, the only thing you need to be aware of is the in the inspector, when you select your group on the top left, there's an include and build checkbox. Just make sure that is checked for the groups you want to include in your builds. So I've already put the bank in there, and I've already made the build. So we're already gonna jump into the game.
Cool.
Right. So I'll be going to the DLC area in our Wise Adventure game demo. And there's going to be just a bunch of sound playing, an arcade playing, and there's going to be a cannon in the back. So there's the arcade, which I will stop because I can't hear myself while it's playing. And there's also the cannon in the back and the coin noise. I'm showcasing all that because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close the game to showcase how it works. I will simulate what happens if you do not check the included build by simply going inside the folder, and also showcase at the same time where it gets generated. So all your groups for the platform that are included in the build are going to be here. So in your game data, streaming asset, AA, platform, and then they're all here. So we have like the init bank and the Windows, which is the one that is here. And the init bank is right here. And then there's the DLC asset, which is the one I've created. And what I'm going to do is just delete it to simulate what happens. When you don't include it in build, it's just not going to be there. So if we go back into the game now, what's going to happen is just everything in that DLC room will have no sounds, essentially, because we removed the bundle that included them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it is really just as simple as that. Do not include your asset in your build, and it's not going to be there. So yeah, as you can see, there's no sound from the machine. If I interact with the cannon, there's no more sound. The coins will still make sound because this is part of the general sound bank. So everything that's like from the core game, if you want, is still going to be in the game. And at the start of my demo, I did mention that I would be showcasing the footstep, but as we can hear, it's still there. And the reason for that is that community, it is not part of my group. So if we go look for it, the footstep, this is not the best UI. My recommendation for it is to simply select the one you want, then select the one at the top, drag it to your group that you want, and just bring back the other one. It's the easiest I found. And then you would just remake your build. I've already done that too. So I'll just be starting my second game. And I guess there's not much point in showcasing the sound working. So what I'll do is just go into my other build, and I will go into the asset folder and just delete again as if it was not included. And then we'll be able to hear that the footsteps are also gone. And really the point, usually you don't want to delete your footsteps from a game, but just select the assets you want to include or remove. I mean, we can already hear it. There's
Yep.
footsteps. And that's essentially it for the demo, I believe. I'm just checking my notes. I haven't forgotten anything.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. That's the last thing I wanted to talk about is the distribution. So for now, for all the demos I've shown, the build and load path is all local. So everything is just built locally in my machine. If you want to distribute your asset, you would change it to remote and then set it up yourself. So you would have a build path where it's outputted locally, and then the load path where the game is expected to go download the assets. That's better documented in the Unity documentation. So I'll have two links in the chat. I believe Masha can put it there. So yeah, that part after that is really up to you on how you distribute your asset bundle. And I think the main idea is really there's no real difference between Wise addressable asset and a regular addressable asset. You just make your group, bundle them, and distribute them as you want. And actually, there's one last thing I just thought about. So I just wanted to mention, because I've seen a few bug reports or community reports about it. Whenever you work with addressable, just be careful. The base root output path for Wise was in streaming asset when not working with addressable, but Unity ignores or cannot handle an asset that's in the streaming asset and cannot make them addressables. So that's why you just need to be careful that it is not in your streaming asset folder. And the last thing is there's a Wwise addressable installer that's really simple. You just set it up. You can either use the GitHub link or simply have a path. You can go to GitHub, download the addressable package, and just put it here. And then you can put your root output path and simply go into Wwise. And I mean, mine is installed, but if you go to here, just going to be install addressable and it's going to do the setup for you. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what I had on my end.
Great. And again, I think what's great in this case and in the case of the Unreal workflow that we'll see is that we're looking at the culmination of multiple pieces that have fallen in place. The workflow for auto-defined sound banks, bringing this ability to Wwise to be able to generate a sound bank per event while also managing user-defined sound banks. So this led to the ability to create these a user-defined sound bank for something like DLC in this case. And from there, the addressables feature, the addition of it as part of your Wwise Unity integration, and how that all works together as part of this packaging of assets. So great overview. Nice work. Cool. Ready to jump into the Unreal side of things, handing it off to you, Victor.
All right. So I'll go back in time a little bit. In 24.1.0, we introduced things called the new packaging settings and also the asset libraries, which were added in the project settings in the Wwise packaging section. It changed a lot since, mainly to support DLCs in general. The idea of an asset library was to package the WEM files and the bank files without having to duplicate it or having to copy it manually in the project as is. So if you were to uncheck the package as bulk data, the result of your package game would be that all WEM and bank files will be copied directly in the game, in your game, for it to work properly, and it will work, but it can get quite big, and it's not necessarily something Unreal supports super well. So we added the option to use bulk data in the 24.1 to support that and use libraries to make everything as smooth as possible. I have, for example, my Wwise multi-reference asset library here, which will use everything, every WEM and bank that are used by multiple assets or multiple events in the game at all. And once packaged will contain everything in it, and the events themselves will be super lightweight because they'll just reference to that and load it as well. In the 24.1.0, we had a list in the project settings, which does not exist anymore, that was to order the libraries because they function as filters, right? So if you add, for example, my name asset library above the multiple reference, then the asset library name asset library will contain everything that it filters, and then pass the rest to the multi-reference library, and then with what's left, it will consider which one is used multiple times and will filter them as expected. Now, to better support DLC, because there was some issues with having just one big list that contains everything, we now added the Wwise asset library group like that, which is the list basically, but it is contained within its own gameplay feature. So in the case of the base game library group, it will only consider assets that are within my content folder of the base game. So if you create an empty Unreal project, that's what it is. And it will disregard completely what are in my plugins. So I have two gameplay demo I've created. These two are not included in the group for that one. So if you package the game without having these two DLCs, the library group will not know about its existence. One issue we had back then was that since it was considering absolutely everything, you could package a WAM file or a bank file that was specific to a DLC that was not released yet and was technically exposed in the library group. So that is no longer an issue because the group is required and is what is important for it. So if the group does not exist, it does not see it, it will not consider it at all.
Nice.
So
That's one of those great features for games that have things that they don't want leaking out to the community and spoiling all of the fun. So
exactly.
Great to have that feature in place.
So I added also another library group in another one of my DLC, which have its own list of that was in the settings that must be in the same gameplay feature just to make things a lot simpler. So it will only consider these two filters and will ignore completely the filters of the multiple reference and the name from the base game, for example. So it will only consider these two filters and the assets within that DLC as is, like that. And if you don't put a group at all in your DLC, for example, then the WEM and the BNK files will be copied in each asset that do contain that needs them.
Yeah.
So, for example, in my Play Second D&D DLC sound will have the fire weapon sound in it. And if you were to have multiple assets that use that WEM file, then it will be copied in every single one of them. So it will make your game bigger, but it will work still.
Yeah.
Regardless, it's just a size thing. We support it very well no matter what. I brought with my package game a little example. With the multiple reference U-bulk, you can see it's quite big. But every asset, for example, I know for a fact that the localized voice, for example, you have assets and WAM files that use them, and you can see that it's quite small because it only has a reference to the U-bulk data from the asset library that was created. So it prevents the duplication of media and bank files within your project. So it's a good thing to have groups, but it is not required. It's just to make things smaller and easier to use in general.
Yeah.
And to facilitate the creation, because if you want a common rule in general that you always want, for example, split it in each languages you use, have a filter for that, and use it in every DLC, then if you have 100 DLC, then you need to have 100 group with all the same filters, basically. So we added the option to do magic, but it's up to you. We do not we do not do it for you because we don't know what you want and how you want to use it. So we expose the template asset library group that exists. You can set it, and with the game features plugin and all, you can attach a function to when a DLC is created or loaded. So if you manage to attach your stuff with that, then you can create the function you want to, for example, duplicate that template asset library group you set and its groups that its asset libraries that are within them, so it can be automated without having to copy paste it all the time and having to set it right each time. But that you can follow mainly the Unreal documentation for that. I tried it; it works fairly well. But we do not. So yeah, the template with the integration as is without having any modification at all, the template does nothing. It's just there for show.
Yeah. Cool.
So, but you can use it to duplicate, create multiple groups and multiple DLCs that you already have. We are just giving the tool and you use it however you see fit.
Great.
That's the big deal. That's a big thing in general about the Unreal DLC. So groups will allow you to make smaller projects if you use them correctly, but you don't need them to have working DLCs or working game in general. This is just an optimization thing for the size.
Great. Well, and again, a long road to arrive at the clarity and functionality that comes with the Autobanks feature, leading to packaging and all of these ways that you can arrive at the right data configuration for your game. So ultimately, there is a comprehensive way across both our Unity and Unreal integrations to bring assets together in whatever way you need to distribute them. And again, cool to be arriving with such a comprehensive solution across our integrations. Thank you for that. Great work. I know you've both been at it for a while, and so it's a gift to be able to land here and summarize it so succinctly for our community out there who, are dealing with these DLC related concerns, whether it's a live service or you're just dropping some extra fun stuff after the release. There's a clear way forward to do that across our integrations. It's great.
And there's a little precision, just to make sure, since you mentioned the beta, it is live in the latest version of the 24, both Unreal and Unity. It is live currently in 24.1 and 25. It's not a 26 onward thing. It is live. You can use them as is right now.
Yep. And we'll continue to carry that forward as part of 26 and let us know how you land. If there's some additional precision we need to bring to a future episode, blog, or documentation, we're always listening to your feedback. So please let us know how this arrives in your workflow. And if there are missing pieces that fit your specific implementation. But otherwise, man, great to have the integrations team representing here today, bringing this all together into a comprehensive workflow for DLC. Thanks, Hugo. Thanks, Victor. It's awesome. Cool. All right, folks out there, let us know. Otherwise, this is Wise Up on Air with the integrations team talking DLC, and we'll see you next time. All right. Thanks, folks.
Bye-bye.